All right, so today we're going to talk about that journey from skeptic to superfan. We're looking at the Dia AI browser through the eyes of someone who's completely convinced it was just another piece of tech hype, but is now, well, obsessed. Let's get into it. So this whole thing really kicks off with some pretty healthy skepticism. I mean, let's be real, a lot of us are feeling that AI fatigue. There's so much hype, so many new tools promising to change your life, and most of them just don't deliver. The user in our source felt exactly that way, and honestly, they were expecting Dahlia to be just another letdown.
You got to understand where this person was coming from. They were already a big fan, a real power user of the Arc browser. So when they heard about Dia, the first thought was kind of like, do I really need this? What I have works great. It felt like a solution looking for a problem.
Okay, so what is Dia anyway? This is super important to get straight. It's a completely separate, standalone AI native browser. A lot of people think it's just Arc with some AI features bolted on, but nope. It's a totally new thing, built from the ground up with AI at its very core.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Right now, in mid-2025, Dia is in beta. It's also free, for now. There are some whispers about a paid version down the road. It's Mac only at the moment, but a PC version is in the works. And hey, if you're already an Arc user, there's some good news. You get to jump the line and get in right away.
So how did this thing start to change their mind? Well, it all began with this one core idea, this real wow factor, the ability to actually chat with your web.
The whole concept behind Dia is pretty wild. It's about having an actual conversation with the internet. So instead of browsing on one screen and then jumping over to ChatGPT to ask a question, it all happens right there. It completely gets rid of that annoying back and forth that just kills your workflow. And we're not talking about a simple chat here. The scope is just huge. You can ask questions about any of your open tabs, you can highlight some text and dive deeper, you can even drag in a PDF or an image and start asking questions about that. It even lets you search your browsing history from the last week, which, come on, is a total game changer for those moments when you're like, oh, what was that site I was on yesterday? And it gets even cooler. Dia has this deep personalization feature. The easiest way to think about this is like the custom instructions you can set up in ChatGPT. You can literally teach it how you like to learn, who your influences are, and what your tone of voice is. So over time, the AI starts to give you answers that are tailored just for you.
Okay, so all these features sound great on paper, right? But how does it actually hold up in a real-life situation? Well, that's where a simple shopping trip for an air purifier of all things became the ultimate test.
Yeah, it's one thing to talk about features, it's another thing entirely to see them work when you actually need them. Our user was shopping for an air purifier for their office to deal with some allergies. They had 2 different Amazon tabs open with 2 different models. This was just the perfect, everyday task to really see what Dia could do.
So instead of doing that thing we all do, flicking back and forth between tabs, trying to compare all the specs, the user just asked Dia a simple question. Hey, compare these two and tell me which one is better for getting rid of pollen. And bam! In literally seconds, Dia scanned both pages and spit out this perfect little comparison chart, complete with a recommendation.
And that was the big aha moment. I mean, the speed, the accuracy, it turned what would have been, 10, maybe 15 minutes of annoying research into something that took just a couple of seconds. This one little interaction completely flipped the script on what they thought an AI browser was capable of. Okay, so that air purifier thing was pretty mind-blowing, but that was just the beginning. The next feature we're going to talk about is what took this user from just being impressed to being completely obsessed. And that feature is called skills.
So what exactly is a skill? Well, it's basically a custom prompt that you save and can use over and over again with a simple keyboard command. The source puts it perfectly. Think of them like your own personal, built-in GPTs that live right inside your browser, always ready to go.
And get this, making one for yourself is ridiculously easy. You just hit New Skill, drop in whatever detailed prompt you want to automate, and then give it a little shortcut like /reflect or whatever you want. And that's it. You now have a custom-built superpower just a keystroke away. And this is where the magic really happens. For your workflow, you could have a skill that writes an email in your exact voice, Or how about one that looks at your browsing for the day and asks you thought-provoking questions to help you reflect? It's all about automating that tedious work that just drains your brain power.
And if you're a content creator, oh man, the possibilities are insane. The user made a skill that instantly pulls timestamps out of a YouTube transcript. You could have another that takes that same transcript and turns it into a first draft of a newsletter. These are things that normally eat up so much time, and now they're just done.
And here's the kicker, the real-world value. That one skill for YouTube timestamps worked so well that the user was able to cancel a paid Chrome extension they were shelling out money for every month. So Dia isn't just saving time, it's literally saving money and helping you ditch other apps.
So, after seeing all of that, that initial skepticism feels like a million miles away, doesn't it? And it really makes you wonder, is this what the future of using the internet is going to look like for all of us?
I mean, look at this transformation. It's a complete 180. The user went from thinking it was overhyped and underwhelming to being obsessed and saying it completely changed how I operate. That's a pretty powerful endorsement of just how useful a really well-thought-out AI tool can be.
Now, of course, we have to talk about privacy. It's a huge deal with any AI tool. Dia says your data stays on your machine, locally. It only gets shared when you're actually using an AI feature, and that's a really key detail if you're thinking about trying it out.
At the end of the day, this whole story isn't just about one cool piece of software. As the source says, this really points to a massive shift. That line between your browser and your AI assistant, it's getting blurrier and blurrier, creating this one seamless way to find and use information.
Which leaves us with this one big, fascinating question. Are we watching the browser evolve from just a window to the web into a truly personal AI assistant that works alongside us? After seeing this, it feels like the answer is a definite yes.